Buddy, and a multitasker. And why I say multitasking because she plays excellent harmonium. She goes for MMA classes. She's training for Kathak. She beats everyone in plank and sit-ups competition that we have in cafeteria. And she does all this while managing and being so pro in office and all office initiatives. And okay, just before I tell you what her topic is, do we have Harry Potter fans here? Wow, great. So you guys have a treat then, because this presentation is okay. I actually let's not steal her thunder. Let's welcome Isha.
Hello everyone. Thank you to the Tech Writers Tribe for giving me my first opportunity to talk as a speaker in a conference. And thank you to each and every Rocketeer here because they have supported me throughout and I would not have been standing here without them. And hello all, you are the warriors today. So tell me, you have Harry Potter fans, so which tree is this? That is correct. And why it is there? Not on the slide. Why it was planted? Yes, correct. So the tree was planted in the playgrounds of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. It guards a secret passage through which we can get out of school to a whole new world which is full of fun and magical shops. But anyone who tries to go near this tree gets brutally beaten up by its powerful branches. So how to get out?
Immobilized. There's a small branch that needs to be.
Correct. There is a secret knot at the base of this tree. Upon pressing of it, the tree freezes and lets you get out of the secret passage and out of the school. So today we are going to be brave and uncover that secret knot, how to fight and win the war with this legacy documentation tree. So let's go ahead. Let's know the history of the war. So what happened actually? An intelligent community by the name of developers created smart products. They decided to write about their products in a manner they found correct. But there was a small understanding gap in this system that the end users were not the primary focus. And this gap started to widen with the growing technology and ever-changing user dynamics. So much so that the books were on the verge of being extinct. And to their rescue, a new community was born which belonged to the bravest and wisest, known by many different names such as manual writer, instructional writer, technical editor, documentation specialist, information developers, and so on. They not only had the responsibility of writing and publishing the documentation, but also learning and understanding about the technology, about the users, and the business aspect of the product. And with this came the huge ownership of fighting and winning this legacy documentation war. Whether if you are trying to read what's being written on the slide, please don't stress your eyes out. This is a sample legacy doc set which we are here to improve. So, we understand how this war began. Let's understand why are we fighting it? What is the value that we are creating? A kingdom that was once ruled by books is now being ruled by topics. And with a change in monarchy, it's always followed by a change in the Privy Council and the policies to be followed. And with the new policies, now we are publishing an HTML documentation primarily from the PDF only outputs. Now user is going online searching for a quick fix to their problem. But the old style linking is done in such a way that they are not able to find answers even they exist in the content. So to improve this searchability, we have to undertake this huge task of restructuring the unstructured documentation following the structured authoring guidelines and SEO guidelines. And as we all know, we are living in the AI era and we are not supposed to fear it, but use it to enhance the user experience And how do we do that? So if you go to Rocket Software's documentation portal, you will see Zoom in GPT doing wonders there. For example, if I'm a user, I can ask direct questions to the doc set and it will give me a tailored answer specific to my questions by collating the existing information in the documentation set. I can ask it to summarize a long topic for me. I can ask it to explain a code for me. Isn't it like a user's dream come true? But for that to happen, we need to have the right content structured in a right way and available at the right place. And lastly, we are not solving users' problem. We are not alone in this war. We are not solving a dog problem. We are solving users' problem, and thereby we are solving business problem. So yeah, these are the values that we have to keep in mind and remember throughout this war, no matter how many battles we are going to fight. So yes, tell me, all of you have handled the legacy documentation, all of you have tried to improve the content, make the user's life easy. But in this journey, where do you struggle the most? In spotting the scope of improvements in your legacy doc set, or in planning the LCI, that is legacy content improvement projects, in executing the planned projects, or in prioritizing? Wow, I did not think I would get the correct answer in the first go. Okay, so yes, in my case, I could see the scope of improvements because it's right there under your nose. You can plan it, okay, this is the problem, I'm going to solve it in this way. I don't have a title, I don't have a short description, I'm going to add it and improve it, the content quality. But as I'm ready to execute it, I get a new release which was not on the roadmap. My company acquires another company, I get whole bunch of new products which I have to look after. I have an existing product which was hidden somewhere in the archives for which I need to create a new guide because customer raised a case. So now, even though I have a plan to improve my legacy content, I am not able to execute it to the completion. So what we need to do is we have to decide the priority of our projects. And we have to have an agreed upon priority from all the stakeholders involved in a product. Otherwise, it doesn't get to completion. So in this war, we are going to remember two mindsets. First is the new writer spirit. So you all must be seasonal writers or you can be a fresher, but you are new to the product and hence you have to remember that you can make the change happen. And the second one is business perspective. So tell me, what's the core activity of a business? Sorry? Correct. We have brilliant audience today. So the core activity of a business is selling their product to solve a user's problem. So throughout this journey, we are going to sell the value of our work to every stakeholder. So let's strategize. This is the simple framework. It is divided into 5 major battles. The first is battle of befriending, where we are going to be familiar with everything. Battle of prioritization, where we have to be smart. Battle of planning, where we have to be thorough. Battle of advocacy, where we have to be vocal. And battle of execution, where we have to be warrior, that we are. So the first one, ready to fight? That is the battle of befriending the 3 Ps. So the product has been introduced to you, the legacy document has been handed over to you. Now you have to warm up to the people, processes and product documentation. And a note to my fellow writers, please don't go and suggest the doc restructuring in the first month itself. We don't want to get marketed so soon in the war. Our primary focus should be completing the release smoothly and in the timely manner in the first 3 months while we are getting set up with all the new work that we have. So the people. This is the time when we are going to get to know everyone, right from dev, QA, your technical support, your customer support, your product management. Set up regular meetings with your team lead wherein you will discuss and agree upon a doc scope for a particular release. What this will enable us to do going further is to distinguish between the efforts that we take towards the release and the efforts that we are taking above and beyond that creates the value. And for example, if you are new, you are asking a lot of questions, you are trying to get all the information, you understand that you have 2 QAs, One of them is very eager to give you all the inputs. He's ready to show you a demo. But the second one needs minimum 3 to 4 follow-ups and 2 reminders from the team lead before they actually reply. So you know who is your friend in this war. And if the one who is not your friend, this is your chance to sell them the value of the work that you do. To let them know how we are going to solve their problem. Show them that you are a team player. And why is it important that we get along with all these people? We are not here to make friends. Because they are going to be sources of information for you for the next battles. They are going to be your informants, which will give you a holistic perspective of why you are fighting this, what problem you are solving from the business point of view. So they are your network of informants. Second is processes. So let's say I discover that even today when I am publishing an HTML documentation, my reviewer is so fond of using PDFs for review. So every time I make a change, I solve a Jira ticket, I need to create a PDF, I need to send it, he'll add comments, I need to read the comments, I need to reply, I need to change in the content. And it is when you have a CMS, when you can author the content and do the review simultaneously on the same platform. But without getting frustrated, this is my chance to sell the value of using common platform to that reviewer. How it will save time, how it is efficient, and how it is a standard practice followed throughout the organization. What if I get to know that my support team is not even included in the review part? So what if they don't know what content I'm writing per release, what improvements I have made to the release that is going to make their job easy? So here is my chance, once after my first draft of documentation is complete with the dev and QA, I will generate a second round of collaborative review for my support team and for my product managers, highlighting the improvements that I have made to the content that is going to create value for them. And the most important part, my product documentation. I need to know it inside and out. So what is the structure? Has it just been converted from PDF, Markdown to data to XML? What is the level of cleanup pending? How many short topics we have? How many long topics? Missing titles, missing short description, broken links. A thorough content audit should be done in this first battle. For this, you can actually develop an in-house tool or utility that can scan your documentation and give you these insights that you need. And the user feedback mechanism, as you have already explained very wonderfully. We need to understand how the users are giving us the feedback on our documentation. Do we have to watch out any email thread? Do we have to watch out a community portal where we are getting the feedback, and how we are going to reply to the users? And all of this, once we have collated, we have created a strong foundational base for the battles that we are going to face head on. And with this, we have won our first battle and we are into the second one. As a winning gift from the first battle, now we have ocean of observations. I wish I could have added a bombing sound effect for this. But yes. So we have these many tasks to do. Now I can be brave and say I'm going to do it all. But then I have to remind myself there is a thin line between being brave and being stupid. So I need to prioritize what I am going to do. And how I am going to do that? I have to ask what's working and what's not working. And I just don't have to talk to the developers and QA for this. I need to talk to external stakeholders. For example, I need to collaborate with support team members to understand what is their pain points. And what is the business problem that I can help them solve to reduce the support calls and the developers' time which the support calls take going forward. And that's how I can know the priority areas that I can focus on with the help of the analytics that we get from the documentation and user interaction, as very well explained by Vaibhav. So from this, I have key priority areas. Now I have to pick and choose a combination that to solve a particular business problem, I am going to implement this documentation improvement project. And once I have decided and prioritize my improvements, then only I can move to the third battle, that is planning the actual attack. So let's say And we are going to do it with 3 T's: tools, that's being the first one. So from the prioritization battle, let's say we have picked up an API documentation project. So my product had a web services reference guide which was written in a plain text format. Is it very useful for the users to read APIs in that structured manner? So I want to enhance my API user documentation. To enhance that, I am going to have different inputs. For example, APIs are written in Swagger by my team. So I'm going to get JSON file or YAML file, which I'm going to publish on my doc portal using a plugin. Now, am I authoring the content in my CMS? No. I'm doing the review in the CMS? No. So there is a totally different toolchain that I'm defining for this content improvement projects. Or let's say my product have a complicated installation procedure which is documented in even more complex way, which I need to simplify. So I have taken up a project of creating video series. So I'm not going to create videos where I author my content. So there it's going to be a different toolchain totally. So I will define every tool that I am going to use for this content improvement project. The second one is I need to build a dream team to fight this battle. Let's say I have taken up a project of single sourcing, and for it I need the 2 product documentation to talk to each other, and for that I need to have a infrastructure developed such as shared library, and for that I will need to take help from the content strategies, from the information architects on your team to set up the backend, and I need to skill up myself to understand what is the best possible way of single sourcing, and to understand how to use variables, how to use data vals for it. And if I don't know that, then I'll have to take help from some of the senior writers from my team and collaborate with them to learn throughout the journey. Let's say I am taking up a task to improve the search engine SEO guidelines. As per the SEO guidelines, I'm improving my content. I am adding short descriptions and modifying the titles as per the content in the topic. And I need contributors and reviewers for that. So I need to jot down every team member that I'm going to need to fight this battle with. And the third one is time. I have all this crafted. I have my toolchain, I have my team set up. But do I actually have the time to implement that project? Do I have the bandwidth as per the release roadmap that we have to decide? Then the quantifiable efforts. If I have selected a project, in which stages I am going to implement it? Is it going to take a month, more than a month, quarter, more than a quarter, and why? And for which stage? And ultimately, the total time investment that we are going to require from each and every team member to implement and successfully complete this project, and hence winning this planning war. So now we have a battle map ready. We have fought the third war, and before we can shoot the arrow, this is the trickiest battle that awaits us. Why is it important? Because if we don't fight this battle, our brilliantly crafted battle plan might just stay on the paper. For that, we need to achieve 2 objectives. One is creating a shared vision among the stakeholders. We are not doing some innovative doc projects to satisfy our own needs, but it is for the user's experience, the enhancement of user's experience, and improving the value of our product. So that we can get agreed upon priority where we all struggled initially for completing the doc improvement projects. 3 simple steps to do that. Get everyone together in the same meeting room. Tell them all the value additions that you are going to do that you have decided so far. But is any war this simple? There always needs to be a hidden battle. The people who thought were your friend might not be your friends. So at this point, what if your SME comes to you and say, our users have been using PDFs for so long, why do we change that now? But this is our ultimate test. All the salesmanship that we have crafted throughout this journey, we have to start from the start. Why we have moved to the topic-based writing, then how we are restructuring the content to improve the accessibility, searchability, linking, and how it's going to cut down your support calls, how it's going to save developers time, and how it is creating the value for product success. And once they see the value, Then we provide them with our battle plan and get an agreed upon priority, get the attack launch date, and off you go. And you are a warrior, and you are you are ready to set the stage on fire. So thank you. That was my framework. Yeah, please, you have all fought this war, so please feel free to share your experiences.
Any questions?
Questions, experiences, rules.